Welcome back everyone. In this video I'm going to be giving you my review of the Nerf Ultra Strike. So let's jump right in. If you want to see this blaster unboxed, I've already done a full unboxing video and my first impressions on the Strike, so go check out that video if you're interested. If not, let's just jump in. The Nerf Ultra Strike is a flywheel powered, semi-automatic Nerf blaster. It comes with a 10-round magazine and 10 of the ultra accuracy darts. Let's go ahead and go over the basic features of the Strike. Starting at the front, you have a front iron sight, which definitely does not match up with anything else because it's so much lower. You have a front sling mount, a accessory rail here on the bottom, and a little bit of an angled foregrip there as well, which isn't too bad on the hands. We also have two separate accessory rails along the top, and between those is the unjamming door. There is a flip-up sight right here, but from what I've seen through all of my testing, it is all but useless. I usually just keep it down the entire time. Continuing on, we have a fixed, non-removable, non-adjustable stock. It does have a sling mounting point right here on the top. It's a decent size. It's not too far out, but also not too close, so people of all sizes should be able to use it fairly well. It would be nice if it adjusted, obviously, but the fact that it doesn't adjust and it is fixed to the blaster makes it very sturdy, which, if the length is good, I will take the sturdiness of a fixed stock every time. The stock also holds the Ultra magazines. You can use either the 10 or the 6-round Ultra mags. It holds them just fine. The retention is very good. There's no way you're going to get to flop out unless you have a very bad fall or something. But it's also very easy to remove it when you need to reload. Continuing down to the grip. The grip on this I really like. It's a little less aggressive than a lot of the other Ultra grips. It fits my hand very well. I like the width. It's a good overall position. It also has a sling mounting point right there at the bottom. I do love the two-tone black and red. I think it just looks really cool. On the grip you have the secondary flywheel trigger. Pulling that spins up your flywheels. You have your regular trigger, and the trigger pull on the Strike is very good. I like it a lot. Not too heavy, but also not too light, and a good action on it as well. I've had no issues with this trigger. In front of the trigger, still inside of the trigger well, is the mag release button. Now it is right down the center line of the blaster, so both right and left-handed users can use it very easily. You just press forward on it and it drops the mag right out. Speaking of magazines, like I said, the Strike comes with an included 10-round magazine, which is the biggest that Nerf Ultra offers right now. More on that later. But you can also use the 6-round magazine that you get with some of the other Ultra blasters, and so far all of the Ultra blasters have the same style magazines, and they're all compatible in all of your other blasters. All of the other Ultra blasters, that is. So overall, I really like the design of the Ultra Strike. It shoulders well. I usually end up choking down the barrel and using these front notches as a grip opposed to the angled grip here, just because I like the stability of having an arm out. I've put at least a few hundred rounds through my Strike so far, and I have had no malfunctions, no jams, anything like that. I have come across with the Ultra series in general, specifically with the Ultra distance darts, the original darts that the Ultras came with, that with the flywheel blasters, not necessarily the Strike in general, but all of the others as well, I've ripped 2 or 3 darts heads completely off just while firing them. I guess the flywheel grabs onto the head and just rips and tears it away from the body. It does end up shooting the entire dart, but they'll fly in 2 different directions. So I will note that. I don't know if they were just faulty darts or if it's just the design of the flywheel systems on the Ultras, but it's only been a couple out of the thousands I've shot through all of the different Ultra Blasters up until this point. So I just wanted to put that out there just to give you a warning. All of them were fixable with just a few dabs of super glue, and they're working fine now, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. Now that I've given you a basic overview, I'm going to take the strike over to my target and show you how it shoots. Nerf Ultra Strike with the Ultra Accuracy darts. Alright, that was me shooting the strike. I really enjoy shooting this blaster. It's very fun, and it's very consistent and accurate, especially for a off-the-shelf Nerf blaster. Using the provided Ultra Accuracy darts, this thing is extremely consistent, and I have no issue hitting the target at most ranges. That being said, my indoor shooting, I'm shooting at about 25 feet away from my target, so there's not a lot of drop, especially out of blasters like the Strike. But I did take it outside and I shot at multiple ranges, and I think the farthest I got video of was 40 feet. So at 40 feet, I'll run the footage right now. Alright, that was 40 feet, and as you can see, in that test, I was keeping the blaster completely flat. I was not arcing at all to make up for distance, just so that I could see how far it will shoot in a straight line without me having to adjust the blaster for range. And at 40 feet, it shot very well. I could have easily backed up to 50, maybe even 60 feet, and still been able to hit the target very consistently with barely any elevation change. And speaking of range, I also took the strike out and I did a distance test, because a lot of people have seen that Nerf claims 120 feet on the box for the distance of their Ultra Blasters, and they are saying up to 120 feet, which doesn't really mean much, but I wanted to put it to an actual test and see how far the Ultra Blasters could shoot. So I used all the ones I had that day. The strike holding completely flat, the darts made it to 75 feet. Now that does include the distance they travel as they start to dive down, but up to 60 feet they're pretty flat, and then they start to fall to the ground and they reach about 75 feet before you have to adjust elevation to hit, which is fantastic for an off-the-shelf Nerf blaster. Next, I tried to give the strike the best chance possible to see how far it could shoot one of the darts, and I held it at a 45-degree angle, shot, and I did a best of 3 shot, and the best distance was 138 feet using the Ultra Distance darts. With Ultra Distance darts, the strike for sure reaches that 120 foot mark. It's about 30 foot less with the accuracy dart, but I would choose the accuracy dart every time over the distance dart, just because your consistency in grouping in shots is so much smaller, and you don't get the odd swerving wild darts that you occasionally get out of the distance darts. So the strike can hit that 120 foot mark that Nerf is claiming. Now that's not a practical distance, that's literally pointing up as high as you can in a direction, firing, not knowing exactly where it's going to land, so it's not accurate at that distance, and you're not really going to hit anybody at that distance, but it can do it, so technically, I guess Nerf wasn't lying, but I'd say more of the effective range of the strike is about 65 feet. You can hit somebody pretty reliably at that range with the strike, which is fantastic for Nerf blaster, and it averaged 96 feet per second, which is very good. 96 FPS is a very good velocity for an Ultra Blaster. They normally sit around 90 FPS for most of them, some of them peaking at over 100, but a lot of them sitting at the high 80s, low 90s, so 96, very good. Alright, now for my personal opinion on the Ultra Strike. I really enjoy this blaster. It shoulders well, it fires well, I had no real malfunctions, never had to clear a jam. I enjoy the grip, the trigger is completely fine. And overall, I only have one complaint with this blaster, and that complaint isn't even with the blaster in general, it's actually with Hasbro. Hasbro, please make an Ultra drum magazine. We want more than 10 rounds. Please, just do it. We all want it. Just do it. Other than that, I have no real issues with the strike, and I really enjoy pulling this one out and either using it for target practice or taking it out to a field. It performs very well, especially for the Nerf Ultra line, and Nerf in general for that matter. Now, like I said before, it does come with Ultra accuracy darts, but for the long range testing I did use the Ultra distance darts, which do outdistance the accuracy darts, but there is no reason to ever use the Ultra distance darts in any of your Ultra blasters. In my opinion, the only thing you should be shooting out of these up at this point in time is the accuracy darts. Until we get something that's even better, there's no reason not to use these in all of your Ultra blasters. So please, if you're buying extra ammo, buy accuracy darts. It makes the Ultra series so much better than it was at launch. It actually makes them usable, and I wouldn't be upset using this against upgraded or even other brand more powerful blasters. Alright, let's get down to whether I would recommend you purchase the Ultra Strike. The Ultra Strike retails for about $45, and that's definitely not a cheap Nerf gun by any means, but it's also not super expensive. Sitting under $50 is a very good price point for this blaster. I think it's easily worth that amount from its performance. Now, you can get some non-Nerf blasters for around that price that will most likely outperform the Strike, but for actual Nerf, there's not much that I've found that's going to outperform the Strike unless it's a rival blaster. Rival blasters are still technically better, but for dart firing blasters, you can't get much more for your money from Nerf than the Ultra Strike. So, in my opinion, I would 100% buy this again with my own money. I actually want to buy another one so that I can try out some different paint jobs and modifications and still have one that I leave stock. So, do I recommend you buy it? Yeah, if you're looking for a good primary with good accuracy, some pretty decent distance, then yes, I give the Nerf Ultra Strike a big thumbs up. I don't think you're going to be disappointed buying this blaster, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. I know I do. I like the styling and the performance out of it, so I have nothing bad about the blaster itself. We just need drum mags, Nerf. We want more than 10 darts in our Ultra blasters. Just do it. I don't know what you're waiting for. Alright, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got enough information to decide whether you would like to purchase the Ultra Strike or not. If you would like to purchase this blaster, I will put a link in the description below at somewhere you can buy it. And I do have a Patreon now, so if you'd like to support me, it would really help me out. I'll put a link down in that description as well, and I would really appreciate it. And as always, I'm Travis. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.